What's up? And welcome to another episode of They Gon' Feel Me, the podcast. You got your boy, Young Reeves, Al, and myself, Rob. I'll be your host, or one of your hosts today. This is episode 48. Like we say all the time, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. We really appreciate the love that you guys have been showing us. We'll continue to share this content. You know, we're going to hit you with some of the hottest topics, and we're going to have real and authentic conversation with authentic men. Fellas, y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
We got these topics, so what y'all want to start with first?
I mean, we all know what happened over the past week, you know, with the tragic death of PNB Rock. So, you know, it's only right to, you know, pay our condolences and respect to PNB Rock and his family and, you know, all his fans and everything. But it was really tragic how it happened. And then seeing the video on Twitter and social media in general, you know, of him taking his last breaths is kind of disturbing. And I just want to, you know, get you guys' thoughts on everything that transpired with his death and the events leading up to his death. And just, you know, this stream of rappers that's just, you know, being killed. It seems like it's not a great time to be a rapper right now. So what do you guys think about PNB Rock's death and just everything that's going on in hip hop?
I just think that with these rappers and everything, you know, we kind of talked about it earlier, like stunting and then putting yourself out there on social media ain't nothing new, you know. I think what is new is that social media has now kind of become like a playground for like all these thugs and wannabe hood folk who basically want to use social media as a come up, you know, like a place to basically spy on whoever the next target is. And I don't know, it used to be about like, okay, we steal somebody's chain, we rob somebody, and then like it just be dead. But now it feels as if like they're adding a new layer to it by like, you know, taking folk life. You know, I feel as if so many people want I don't know, hood credentials or something like that, that like, I mean, it's barely even about like thievery, you know, it's just, you know, broken ass people, you know, who don't mind doing tragedies just for the sake of, you know, fucking people over. And like, that's crazy to me.
I definitely feel you though, Reezy, when you said, you know, it's definitely you think it's a bad time to be a rapper. I think right now, if we take a poll, being a rapper might be one of the most dangerous occupations, you know, right up there with police officer, firefighter, or gas station worker or cashier or whatever, because it seems like every other week you're seeing somebody get killed. And it seems like no other genre of music right now is going through, you know, what rap is going through. And it makes you ask the question, is it about the energy that you're putting out? You know, the certain things that you talk about and you perpetuate, is there some validity to that?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, you know, do you think that the music that these rappers make is a part of the reason why, you know, people are challenging them per se and, you know, wanting to rob them because they see the flashy, you know, the jewels, the fast lifestyle, you know, and then on top of it, a lot of these rappers are bragging about violence and, you know, talking about selling drugs and things of that nature. And they're actually influencing the very people that are robbing them and killing them. You know what I'm saying? They're motivating them in a sense to kind of rob them. They're kind of making themselves a target in a sense sometimes. You know, and that's what it seems like.
You know, you realize when you're getting old. You really realize when you're getting old, because there are certain realizations and actualizations that you come to because when you were younger, you defended certain stuff and you thought a certain way, but when you get older, you look at it like, you know what, there was some truth behind what people were saying, because I remember growing up, and a big fight was with Luther Campbell, Two Live Crew, and having parental warnings put on the front CD, and looking back on it, and now having a son myself, would I want him listening to Band in the USA, Doodoo Brown, Rump Shaker, heck no. If I'm being honest, because I'm a parent, I'm a parent now, and I understand, but also from a different perspective. Y'all think about this. Sometimes I think we don't realize the power of music, because a simple song, I give you a simple song. Pharrell's Happy. Forget about the point it was ran into the ground. But when you first heard that song, I'm talking about the first dum dum dum, it might seem crazy. That's one of them songs where you can't help it. I don't care when you hear it, what kind of mood you in. When you hear that song, it just make you do what? Normally,
make you move.
It make you move. It make you want to dance. It's a certain vibe. It's a certain frequency that song has. And if conversely, you can hear certain stuff where, like, the tone, it sounds sinister. It sounds dark. I'm thinking, like some old Pastor Troy, vice versa. You hear the dun 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 dun. It takes you to a dark. It takes you to a dark place. I'm thinking of. I mean, ironically, 666. Some of that. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I know it's riding spinners. But when you hear the beat, though, the beat sounds dark. It sounds dangerous. It sounds grimy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So I think we sometimes don't realize that the music that we do listen to, it does, whether subconsciously or consciously realizing it, it does have an effect. It does have an effect on us, whether we want to admit it or not.
I mean, I just look at it like, I'm not going to argue with you, like, especially as not being a parent. And, like, I mean, hey, you bring that kind of energy, you get that kind of energy with the things that you put into your body and you digest from a sonic sensibility. But, in situations like this, I just look at it like, we live in this new age, the social media age, and, social media can be a tool for good and information, or it can be like, used in a different way. I like for these stick up boys and get it boys, basically like running your house. I mean, true enough, you might listen to EA by Young Nudie and then all of a sudden be like, yeah, like I want to do some grimy shit, but like, I think it's deeper than just like the energy that the music bring. I mean, I was just watching like a documentary that Vice put out some time ago where they talk about like there are groups of people who basically specifically target social media influencers, artists, and people like that. They watch their social media. They see when they out at the venue. They see when they out at the spot. They see them flaunting and flashing. And like they get people, and you ain't even got. And honestly, you don't even have to be. I mean, a influencer for that to happen to you. You could be, as we talked about before, out and about, going to some foreign country, going to Tulum or something. You post too much, and either somebody robbing you back at your house, or they trying to find what resort you at. In Mexico. I mean, when it's all said and done, I know that a lot of people talk about with the PNB situation that his girl posted pictures and that's what they pretty much use to target them. And I wouldn't want to tell anybody to cheat themselves out of living their life, but you do have to think about that new extra thing now that like you paint a target on your back, even when you're doing something as simple as posting a reel on Instagram.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I know a lot of people was arguing back and forth about, if it was her fault. And I even saw Kodak Black, which was ridiculous, telling her to kill herself, which is just stupid.
Because he a fuck
you
nigga,
know,
fuck
uh,
that dude.
But I also want people to understand that you can't be naive. Like, to think that people ain't watching every move that your girl is doing or your homies is doing. Just because it's not you doesn't mean that people ain't, watching them and trying to get, because they're close. They're the closest people to you. So, of course, they're going to watch them, too. They want to see you slip up in some kind of way if they're trying to get you. And I think social media just made people more easily accessible. Now people feel like they know you anyway. And with social media, they can see, the everyday events of your life or what you show them. So now it's a lot easier for people to target people. But I do want to say that this type of stuff has been going on long before social media.
Yeah.
Rappers have been being extorted. They've, having to pay to get into cities that they wasn't a part of. Like, this is stuff that's been happening behind the scenes for a long time. This ain't nothing new. But you just got to be cautious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, rest in peace to PNB Rock. I hate that, our people especially, it hurts because dude didn't really bother nobody, for one. And for two, it's like, why do we got to keep killing our own? People that's doing well for themselves. And, that person can easily, if you have a conversation with them, they may be able to put you in a position to win. But you too consumed with the materialistic things and trying to take, the jewels and the money instead of trying to get this knowledge and build wealth for yourself. And that's a problem that I have with us, and it's showcased more with us. I know that it happens with other people too, but with us, it just seems like, man, can we please just stop killing our young, wealthy black people, man? It's, rappers, whoever, man. Like, it's just sad. Like Dolph, that's one close to me because he's from Memphis. And it's just, the dude was doing so much positive stuff in the city. And it's just like, when people are doing well, man, to take them out of here when they're so young, it just seems like a waste, man. But, anyway, let's move on to the next conversation. And like I said, rest in peace, PNB Rock. And black people, please, let's do better, man.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. But our next topic is going to be about the good people at Disney. They recently had like their Disney Day, I think not too long ago, and they put out a lot of trailers. And one trailer that they decided to put out was the new live action remake that they're doing for The Little Mermaid. And
Under the Sea,
but this isn't like the Little Mermaid you grew up with, watching, the cartoon. They made some changes other than this live action, and lo and behold,
what kind of changes?
Lo and behold, we got us a little chocolate mermaid underneath the sea, and some people don't like the idea of us having that young black girl be the next representation of the character in the form of Halle
Bailey.
The white folk were white folking, the angry white men were white menning, and they've been complaining. What you guys think about it?
My biggest thing is, if anybody knows Halle Bailey, she is the most innocent, most like virtuous young black woman I've seen in a long time. Like, and people have, two sides to them. But to me, personally, looking at her, I don't think that girl can hurt a fly. And I think, honestly, if we're talking about the Little Mermaid, she fits the role perfectly. She could sing her ass off. She's a beautiful young lady. And the only thing is, she's a little bit dark, and she's not even like chocolate. Like, so what is the problem? They found like the Halle Berry of black women, of young black women, and casted her for this role, and y'all got a problem with it because she black.
Bro, in the infamous lines of Kanye West, you steal a nigga in a coupe. it don't matter.
Man,
It could have been
crazy, bro.
it could have been the nicest. It could have been Gandhi. It could have been the most Mother Teresa. It could have been the kindest, most gentlest person in the world. They could have had 15 Nobel Prizes. It don't matter. As long as they got this right here.
Man, I don't know. I disagree. Because what if this is Zendaya? Do you think they're gonna have they be in an uproar?
Because they did that when
think-
Zendaya got like cast as like Mary Jane for like a Spider-Man. It just that happens that she's likable. I mean, what kills me with these situations is that like, I mean, now it's a double-edged sword because like if somebody took a black character and then whitewashed the role, I'm sure we would be up in arms about it. But this is a character that you can interpret any way that you want. And what's crazy to me is that like, it's funny. Like I think Trevor Noah, like on his show, he basically said there are more redheaded white women represented in Disney movies than there are black women. And you know, these people up in arms talking about like, that isn't the Little Mermaid. It has to be like somebody white. You know, it's making these asinine arguments just because like you don't want to see the agenda be carried out of like a black person, like basically be putting on to like be envied outside of being a slave, outside of being a gangster, a single pregnant mother, or some other stereotypical ass role. Representation matters. Simple as that. There's a little young girl out there that wants to see herself be a movie princess, you know, like, and she needs that. She doesn't need to think that the only pinnacle of success she can reach in life is doing something like hair.
It's Real Housewives of Atlanta or some shit.
Like, it's aspirational.
The thing that's annoying to me is like, I could see if it was a influential figure, you know, like a remake. I don't know, a remake of the Robert E. Lee story, and you got a black dude to play Robert E. Lee.
Samuel L. Jackson,
bruh. Good. like
Samuel L. Jackson.
As Robert E. Lee. But think about this. It's Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
A fictional character.
Ain't even real. Okay, but I give it to you this because a little while ago I saw Idris Elba when he was on The Shop, and he talked about, you know, the old thing about people wanting him to play 007, and he was like, I'm over it. And he was basically saying, I really don't have a desire to do it, but he was speaking more toward the desire of other people wanting him to be able to do it. And Drew Barrymore happened to be on that episode of him on The Shop, and she was studied saying like, you're the perfect person to do it, because when you think of James Bond, I mean, if you look at other than the fact that he's black, yeah. I mean, Idris Elba, like, what does not say James Bond about him? You know, but if it's a character like that, now you really want folks to lose their mind. Let them come out with a black, with a black James Bond.
Or a black Superman, boy.
Well, they are talking about putting out a black Superman, actually, with
because you see what happened. I mean, it was on a smaller scale, but you see what happened on 24. You know, when they replaced Jack Bauer, they would replace Jack Bauer with old boy. The ratings, like,
I don't know. I ain't gonna say.
I still watched it.
I didn't watch it. I watched like a couple episodes, but I don't know, man. Ain't nothing like Jack Bauer, man.
Jack Bauer to do.
What gets underneath my skin about situations like this is that, like, it's the antiquated, ridiculous arguments that people use to strengthen the idea that somehow it's okay to be un-okay about this character being played in this way. And ultimately, it's just like this pitiful ass example of people just being upset that black people even get a crust of normalcy. Just let us. You've had the whole fucking pie. We just want a crust of being able to play into this media enriched landscape that you've made for yourselves, and have some of our people just feel as if like there's something that we can be cherished and feel is special for like generations to come. But like you gotta interject these old time 1950 ass ideals, you know. And it's like, what do you win? What do you gain? Like who made you? What
superiority?
What grown man is
feeling? It's the feeling. It's that feeling of superiority because you don't want to give other people that breath, that little sliver of hope.
That's a little sliver of humanity.
They want the little bit of power that they clasping onto, man. They want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they got to do, they don't take Ariel from us, man. Y'all done took enough.
I will say the most fantastical part of this all is the idea of a black mermaid whose hair doesn't like get kinky in the water. Moving right along.
Come on, man.
Speaking of power and people taking advantage of power, we roll back down to the great state of good old Mississippi for this next story and this next topic. Good old Kiln, Mississippi's finest, Brett Anthony Favre. I just gave him a middle name. Have no idea, nor do I care what his middle name is.
Make it Susan.
Brett Bartholomew Favre. But anyway,
Brett
the story.
Favre.
Whoa.
Fuck this nigga.
Whoa.
Stealing from fucking poor people. Fuck this nigga.
Not the glizzy gobbler, cuz.
Yeah, just like his little daughter, he was trying to get that money for. I shouldn't say that.
You are out of order.
I am out of order, assuming that his daughter like swallows. My bad.
Man, come on.
Fuck these folks.
Anyway, Brett Favre was in the news. Also, former Governor Phil Bryant, in connection with this story that welfare funds were mysteriously diverted for building projects on the campus of Favre's alma mater, University of Southern Miss. So instead of the money going to the poor demographic in which it was supposed to, it went for construction. What do you fellas think about this situation?
Trash. I mean, it just goes with the whole the rich get richer, man. Like
Mississippi.
And it's sad. It's sad, and yeah, it's happening in Mississippi, who already has a water crisis. In Jackson has a water crisis, and just a state that isn't the wealthiest state when you think about like
it's the poorest. It's the poorest.
Yeah,
it's the poorest.
So, we're from there.
I mean,
it's the poorest.
Yeah.
We know.
You know what I'm saying?
So
it's just I was trying to be
no. You're not gonna make us feel bad. We know.
We know.
We don't have the funds. We know, and this is a reason why we don't have the funds. But continue.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to see the rich getting over once again, and you don't see. Are we going to see anything happen? Is there going to be penalties? It doesn't seem like it is. This has been going on for, or it has went on for 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Or it has been swept under the rug.
There are reports that he paid it back, but still.
But still, it should be a penalty. Just because you pay the money back doesn't mean.
But and
you should be taxed on top of that. You couldn't just be able to give your $2 million back and that's it.
The boy was trying to hide.
How many other million?
The boy was trying to hide the shit up. So like clearly, if he did pay it back, it's because he got caught and he like just trying to save face.
Yeah.
I mean, because the text messages reveal, it says, I don't want the media to find out
because you don't want them to think you're a bad person. I mean, you already ain't the greatest person in the world, to be honest. Like your football career and other things.
Because if we want to go back in time, we remember them stories about him sending his meat pictures, to female masseuse. I'm just
Deshaun Watson before
Deshaun
Watson.
There you go. I mean,
so
and then also,
I mean, it's
the next component of the governor, a sitting governor, diverting funds, and he's in on it. So that's corruption. That's corruption all around.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, the rich getting richer. It gets swept under the rug when it's them. There's never hardly any kind of penalties, except for in very rare cases. They always seem to get a slap on the wrist, or it gets swept under the rug, and you never hear about it ever again.
It's just crazy to me that Mississippi keep on trying to Mississippi as hard as they possibly can. It's like they want to be fucking Florida so goddamn bad. You got Tate Reeves out here, motherfucking acting like it's Caucasian comedy jam, motherfucking making jokes about like not being in Jackson, like in the middle of a fucking water crisis. I mean, it's like, and then it's like you got these deplorable ass things that these people do and are responsible for, and then like y'all still elect them. You still like you let somebody feed you a load of bullshit that like somehow this is supposed to be okay, and then you still let them. As a person from Greenville, Mississippi, I remember when at some point Greenville seemed like it was a thriving place. And then like I just know that as newer generations of those rich white families that are in our city, as they started to move, they took all the resources with them. So we just dumping all, I mean, you got states where they just dumping all their money into like, these people who have no vested interest in infrastructure or the upkeeping and the bringing up of communities, whether it benefits somebody who doesn't look like you or not. And it's just a broken cycle that happens over and over again. And it's frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating.
The last thing I'll say about it is like we say all the time, and I'll continue to say, this bemoans the reason that to get out and get active and involved in your voting process. Get out and get these people out of office. If you want real change, stop complaining. Stop going on social media, talking, making posts and statuses, and actually do something. Instead of talking, actually do something. Get people registered. Take people out to the polls, and make sure you vote yourself. So, going on to the next topic.
Well, speaking of Mississippian trying to be like Florida. Oh, Florida wasn't going to get shown out because apparently your boy, the governor of Florida, Desantis. So this son of
Santis.
Dick Santis, like this nigga, like for whatever reason, he thought it was a good idea to basically take 2 planes worth of immigrants and fly them to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, Florida, to Massachusetts, just to drop them off, like, I don't know, like a bullshit baby mama dropping off like the son to like the deadbeat dad's house and be like, it's your turn this weekend, and then going to get her nails done. Like I don't know what made this dude think it was smart to just dump a bunch of immigrants like in a place that they are not familiar with, and then vamp on taxpayer dollar. Like that's crazy. What do y'all think about it?
That last part is a key part on taxpayers' dollars. Florida and Texas as well, because you got your boy Greg Abbott doing the same stuff using busing.
I know.
This is what Texas taxpaying citizen, but taxpayers. This is what your money is going to. People are playing political games with actual human beings, like we were talking about in Jackson with the water. People are really. I mean, this shows you the level of or lack of morality that people or or decency that people have. Who would think, okay, we gonna load up all these folks and we gonna fly them to somewhere where they have no idea where anybody is or anything is, and we just gonna drop them off and we gonna leave them here.
Separating them from their families, putting
Got
them in
no bank
potential
accounts.
putting them in potential danger. Fortunately, the people of Martha's Vineyard, like, they took them in and they found, like, you know, suitable housing for them, you know, at least for the meantime, until they found some sort of solution, you know. So shout out to them for, like, stepping up to the occasion.
Now, you know something, I'm gonna say this, and I mean, I might be wrong. I might be wrong when I say this, but you know, sometimes in life, when life gives you lemons, you know, you can turn around and make lemonade out of the situation. It would be just I mean, their comeuppance, if you will, is if they take all of those illegal immigrants, get them in the process to becoming
Citizens,
actual citizens, and educating them and letting them know, hey, this is the party, or these are the people that put you in this position, hey, and we are helping you, and therefore taking a negative and turning it into a positive. Because guess what? If you have all those people and you bring all those people into an area, guess what's gonna happen? Because people ain't gonna stop hunching. That means they gonna start multiplying. And if you're born in the United States, by law, you are a United States citizen. So if your parents might be illegal or whatever, but if you're born here, guess what? You are a U.S. citizen. So something they meant for bad or meant for evil can actually turn around and bite them in the actual long run. But that's just me thinking. That's just me thinking outside of the box.
I just can't believe that Desantis, Cock Desantis, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I don't understand. I don't know why Ronald McDonald DeSantis decided to, like, just do this. It's like, these Republicans, why are y'all like this? Who made y'all like this? Like, when y'all see yourselves represented in the media, even if all you look at is Fox News or the OAN network or whatever, when you see yourself represented in the news, are y'all proud? Are y'all proud? Are these the people that you want to be? Is this a legacy that you want to, teach to your generations? Is this what you think that, like, a democracy is supposed to look like? Y'all are the evil camp counselor in every fucking 80s movie that, like, that came out. Like, you ain't Mahoney. You're like that one police officer, like the chief that Mahoney didn't like in fucking Police Academy. Like, you are never represented well. Like, these kinds of people are always the bad people in everything. It's like,
what was that boy name?
I want to say Lassard, but I don't think it was it. Like, it don't even matter.
I think it
don't even matter. Like, you whole niggas, like, y'all, like, I mean, this is who you are. You can't sit up here and talk about how inclusive you are. You can't talk about, like, I just believe in good common politics. I just think of, having small government, anything like this. At the end of the day, every evil that you do to people, everything that you do to undermine democracy and this country doesn't make you more of a patriot. It just makes you a whiny little bitch who ain't getting their way, and you doing whatever you possibly can to win. I don't know how you live with yourself. Probably eating a dick or something like that. But, like, I mean, I just can't. I can't believe the depths that you people will go dehumanizing someone. Like, these people are risking everything they possibly can to come into this country to look for a better life. Meanwhile, like, you literally greet them into this country by saying, like, hey, it's going to be a struggle even though you just came from a struggle, and this is we're about to be your neighbors, and we don't like you, we don't want you, and you are cattle that we can herd and move around. I don't understand how the fuck you live with yourselves.
Neither do I. But we are definitely going to transition into a more pleasant part of the show. And this is a lot of people's favorite part of the show, which is the best thing you've seen all week. So, fellas, let us know, what is the best thing that you've seen all week?
So I would say that the best thing that I've seen all week would have to be, I mean, I don't want to always say She-Hulk, but like, actually the best thing that I saw all week was the Grammys. No, not that shit. I actually hate award shows. So I was about to say, I mean, I'm real happy that everything that happened with the awards, that the Emmys that happened earlier, but damn, maybe y'all should just come back to me, because like I want to give like people their flowers, but like I just don't support the Emmys. So come back to me. I don't know.
You don't support the Emmys?
I don't support the Emmys. I don't support any of these award shows that like.
I mean, shout out to Quinta Brunson and Shirley Ralph, for winning the Emmys. And Abbott Elementary has been a show that's kind of taken off, so I don't want to take away from them, even though I think as a collective we really don't care for award shows unless they're black award shows, you know what I'm saying? So the best thing that I've seen, man, this is tough. It's a tough week. I mean, I just watched Mike, and I want to say, I know a lot of people hate the character, the guy the image that is being portrayed, or the way that he looks on the show. Anyway, they don't think it's an accurate depiction of him. But I will say the show is actually really good. So it's on Hulu, and I just finished the show, the season finale or series finale. I mean, I find it hard to believe that they're going to make another season, with this being his life story and it ended. But it was kind of interesting seeing, the details of him, especially with the whole Evander Holyfield, him biting his ear situation, and just seeing that he was on a lot of drugs, a lot of cocaine, and, he was just, in a bad place, man. Like, and to see that's just crazy, because I would have never known it. I mean, being young, you don't know. Hell, I watched the fight when he bit Evander Holyfield's ear, and shit, I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was crazy, but at the same time, I didn't think that he was drugged out or anything. So, but to see like the details of his life story with, his multiple women and kids, the rape story, and just everything that, was the events of his life in totality is just crazy. And to see where he's at now, it's kind of great, to see that he's actually made something of himself, and he's in a more positive situation and light, and, he's not dwelling on the things that made him spiral out of control, so that's kind of dope to see. And I know that he kind of doesn't like the show himself, but it would be dope to see him actually give a detailed, a biography or whatever of his life. That'd be dope to see too. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna say is the best thing I've seen all week, because I can't think of anything else. So,
all right,
I'll go again. Like, so the best thing that it's not so much the best thing that I saw this week as much as the best thing that I heard this week, and that was the new album from Ari Lennox, A Sex Location. Oh, yeah. Like, I had to give that a listen, from the goddess herself, Ari Lennox, like Vibes Bay, I'm going to call her. Really did enjoy it. It's very a mature album, and, she has a sound that's all her own. You don't hear things that feel as rich as like the sound that she brings, and it's just a good album, It really puts you in that mood of just that good soul clinging music that kind of sticks to your bones, and I really did appreciate sampling that this past week.
Let me give a shout out to my boy ESTG before Rob go. Because that was one of the things I was gonna say. That's one of the best things I've heard. Another Memphis artist just dropped his new album. Got a song on there with Jeezy. I don't know how he managed to get the vintage Jeezy on the track, but the last track on ESTG new album, if you like that old school Jeezy, there you go. That's all I'm gonna say. Go to the last track, man. It's probably one of the best tracks I've heard in a minute from Jeezy. So,
all right. For me, I'll keep this easy as a part-time. I'm not a professional at all by any means. I definitely go the best thing I've seen all week. I get to them, even with its flaws. I go with NBA 2K23, even with its like I said, even with its flaws, not being able to shoot. Your boy's struggling out there with his jumper. He's struggling really with that jumper. But the game overall, it's a really good game. I mean, they really did a good job on it. The other outside of the shooting, the only other thing I will say though is I hate the fact that everything has turned into such microtransaction, so that you buy a game for, let's say, $70, but to actually be able to play online, you spend all this money to get VC to bump your creative player, up to 85, and then you gotta bump them up some more if you actually want to get out there and be competitive against other people online. But that's another soapbox.
Tell them how much the VC costs.
The VC is in varying degrees. It can be from $5 to $19.99 to $39 to $50, all the way up, to beyond that. Yeah. So it gets expensive.
And per se, how much VC would you need to make your character a 85 overall?
To make your character a 85 overall, you would need upwards of 250, but more. I would say maybe 300,000 VC,
which is roughly about $60.
On top of paying for the game already. So this, yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's a good game. But anyway, we appreciate you guys who hung in there. This is episode 48. Continue to like, subscribe. You know what? Drop some comments. Drop some fire. Drop the fire emoji down there in the comments. If you made it to this part, of the show, drop some fire down there. But as we always say, if you ain't feel us this time, you definitely gonna feel us the next time.
Now get the fuck off my screen, nigga!
Shout out to Chris.
Hey, it's your boy Rob from the They Gon' Feel Me podcast. And if you want more authentic conversation from authentic men, check out this video.